Hello everyone, this is Cherie, and this is my December 2024 wrap-up vlog. This vlog might be a little shorter than most because I don't have anything new to report on the 99%. I didn't finish any series, I didn't finish any books. I did read some screenplays and watch some movies, so I'll talk about those at the end. But first I wanted to talk about the holiday fair I went to at the Santa Cruz Fairgrounds in Watsonville. It was just really charming. I got this beautiful scarf, peacock scarf, and some nice boutique perfume, and and a lollyberry pie. So if you ever come to the Pacific Northwest and you see a lollyberry pie on the menu, get some. It's so wonderful. But it's a berry that's only grown in like Northern California, Oregon, Washington State. It's kind of like a blend of a bunch of different berries, and it's called Olaliberry. So we had 3 weather events in December. The first one was on Thursday, December 5th, and it was a tsunami warning. So basically, we were all sitting in the break room, and all of our cell phones went off, and it had this warning. So evidently there had been a 7.0 earthquake in northern California. I'm in Northern California, but this was way up next to the Oregon border. And because it was so big, they expected a potential tsunami. This made headlines all over the globe because my pen pal from Scotland sent me an email saying, "Are you okay?" And I wrote back saying, "Yeah, it's fine." First off, I don't live right by the ocean. I live 6 to 7 miles away. And also, I'm in the mountains. So I'm like 570 feet above sea level. And most of these tsunamis, the big ones in the past, have been like 100 feet tsunamis. So I wasn't too worried. But yeah, so we had that. And then, of course, it didn't happen. However, the following week, we had a tornado. A tornado zipped right through the center of town, like right down the street. And California doesn't have tornadoes. We don't have storm shelters. We don't have basements a lot of the times. So yeah, it was just something we were totally unprepared for, and it happened out of nowhere. Yes, it was a rainy and windy day, but I had actually thought of going to the movies that day, and I always go to the first showing. So if I had been walking home from the movies, that would have been right at the time the tornado went through, right? Because I walk on that street. So, yeah, no one died. There were some people that were hurt, and it was just one of those weird, scary, bizarre things. And then the third thing that happened was part of our wharf fell into the ocean because it was getting pummeled by 30-foot waves. Okay, so it is a wooden wharf, and it was being worked on. So luckily there were no tourists at that part of the wharf. There were 3 like construction people there, and they had to be rescued. And the structure, the main thing that fell that you could see floating in the water was the public restrooms on the wharf. And it just, yeah, it went all the way to the opposite side, where it got a nice view of the boardwalk amusement park. So it was originally on the opposite side of the boardwalk. But let's talk about screenplays. I read 4 screenplays in the month of December: Blink Twice, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Gosford Park, and Lost in Translation. Now those last 3 were all Oscar winners for Best Original Screenplay. Blink Twice, I read it because I had seen the movie and was intrigued. It was co-written, and the movie was directed by Zoe Kravitz. And I thought it was fun. I think it got bad reviews when it came out, or mixed reviews. But I actually enjoyed it enough to where I did want to read the script. And I was also reading it just to confirm a few details that kind of slipped by me when I was watching the movie. All right, so let's talk about movies. There's Blink Twice, which I just mentioned. It is about two friends that go on a trip to this billionaire's island with him and his friends and their girlfriends. And weird things start happening on the island. Zoe Kravitz did a great directing job with this, and I look forward to seeing her next project. A Matter of Life and Death. This is one that I had heard of from so many people. It's in the Criterion Collection. It is about a pilot in the war who is supposed to die, but he actually somehow ends up living, and so the people in heaven have to go down and convince him to come to heaven. And then he's like, but no, I want to stay here. I just met this woman. I didn't realize this, but the movie Soul, the Pixar movie, got a lot of ideas from A Matter of Life and Death. There's the escalator that moves up into heaven, and there's this dandy, this Frenchman, who is the one who was supposed to have X amount of souls, and he was one short. So he's kind of like that accountant character in Soul, And I loved him. He was great. And if you like set design, oh, gorgeous. Like the cinematography and the sets were amazing. Thelma. This came out this year. I saw this on Hoopla. So if you have a library card and you can get onto the Hoopla app, you can watch this for free. It's about I was going to look this up. She's not in her 80s, so she's not an octogenarian, but she's in her 90s, so she's a nanogenarian? I don't know. I'll put it here. Anyway, so she gets scammed. She gets a phone call. There's the scammer. She sends money. Then she realizes she's been scammed, and she goes out for vengeance. So it's like an action movie with this like 90-something-year-old woman being the action character. And it's charming. It's charming. So if you feel like a fun watch, a lighthearted romp, watch Thelma. All right, let's move on to the Harvard list. I went through the next 20 movies, number 131 through 150. I had already seen half of these, and I do want to talk about 4 of them. First off, The Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. This is the movie that everyone thinks of when they think of a Kurosawa film. It inspired The Magnificent Seven, and I think countless other Western movies, or movies where you have to gather a team together to go fight a baddie. And it's long. I think it was over 3 hours. It's at least 3 hours. So you're in for the long haul, but it's very good. It's a classic. Next movie, Sansho the Bailiff by Kenji Mizoguchi. This is the 3rd Mizoguchi film I've seen after Ugetsu and Sisters of the Gion, and I love his work. I love this artist, this filmmaker, this creative being. I am probably going to watch all of his films now. I don't know how many he made, but I will try to watch more. I know there are a couple more on my list to be watched, but now I'm going to search them out. If there were a box set, I would get it. It's about royals in Japan who are banished, and the brother and sister end up getting captured and turned into slaves, and the mother has to work in a brothel. And it's about the struggle for freedom from slavery. And evidently, this is based on real stuff that did happen in the old days, and it's horrible. But it's just like the struggle to free oneself. And I don't know, I was watching it thinking, oh, this feels very modern, actually, in a way. It was lovely. This might be my favorite Japanese film that I have seen so far. The Red Balloon. Oh, I've spoken about this before on my channel. This won Best Original Screenplay when it came out, and which is funny because I don't think they actually were working off of a screenplay as we know it today. It's a very visual film. There's not a lot of dialogue. It's 34 minutes. You can find it on YouTube, so it's a short. And it's about this little boy going through Paris with this balloon that follows him around. And it's just charming. This is like this would be a great Christmas watch, like a yearly Christmas watch. And the final film I want to talk about is The Ballad of a Soldier. This is a film from the Soviet Union, and it's about a young soldier who like kind of accidentally takes out a tank and is rewarded. He's allowed to go home to his mother, take like a leave so that he can go fix her roof. And it's like this road trip of him trying to get back to his home village and all the characters he meets on the way and all the different ways that war affects people. I don't generally like war films, but this is the exception that proves the rule. This one, and I would say like 1917, are war films that I would go back and rewatch. All right, so that's it for my month of December. I am going to be working on my yearly wrap-up video, and that should be coming out during the first week of January 2025. Other than that, I hope you all had a great holiday season, and I will see you in the new year.